So a very warm welcome to the next in our series of at-home interviews with technology CEOs. Today I'm delighted to be joined by Chano Fernandez, co-president of the global software firm Workday. Chano, thank you for joining us today. I hope you're well.
I'm very well. I hope you're well too, Michael. Thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure. Chano, would you like to provide a short introduction to the viewers of both yourself and Workday, please?
So, Michael, Workday is a leading provider of enterprise cloud applications for finance and human resources. So we deliver financial management, human resources planning, spend management, and analytic applications. And regarding myself, I am Workday's global co-president.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chano. The last few months have seen a fairly significant business and cultural change. Chano, I'd be really keen to understand, what you've learned from this period and what has sort of impacted your view of the future.
Yeah, no, great question, Michael. I think, before this period, we knew as a company the importance of a strong value systems and a great culture, something for which Workday is being greatly recognized in the market. But if anything, this period has just highlighted how relevant the right set of values and culture to navigate through these periods become even stronger on the other end are. Our first value is employee, and I never seen clearly a company with happy customers and happy employees, Michael. So since the beginning, we decided really to double down on our employees. We knew they would have concerns around health and financial safety, which also was very clear on their survey feedback that we carry regularly through our Workday system. And we provided our employees very early on with a couple of weeks of extra pay for every employee across the world, the globe. And there's, just a VP level that they were certainly very happy with. We also knew the importance of communication. So we doubled down on communications, I would say both town halls, but also kind of individual skip level communications. And all in all, I think that we learned that this being a good reassurance, so that investments around values and culture impact as well P&L positively, and when you focus on driving properly across the company.
Fascinating, thank you. Just changing tack slightly, I'm just curious to understand your perspective on this particular area. In the Silicon Valley, tech businesses seem to be more readily appointing non-US leaders into their top roles. Do you see this as a sort of a natural acceptance of global thinking, and what do you think are the benefits of this trend?
Yeah, it's a great question, Michael. I think it's one that is been evolving during the last few years, I would say, right? And it's a very welcome trend, obviously, right? I would say that first and foremost, it is an acceptance that there is great talent globally, and we are on this tremendous war for talent these days. You and your firm better than anyone know what's going on. And you would be making a big mistake as a silicon company, tech business, if you would be not recognizing this trend, right? And the talent is definitely everywhere, right? Obviously, as well, international markets outside of the US are also becoming more and more relevant as a source of growth for all technology companies. And you want, senior executives who not only understand those international markets, but also they do have a voice on the company board, on the company executive committee meeting, really a senior level, because to succeed these days as a diverse company, you need truly global mindset views, but they need to usually be coming as well from the top, so that those can really run across the strategy, product, and all the business areas across the company, right? So I think, it's just being, as I said before, an evolving trend that has become much more common now, rightly so.
Fascinating. Just changing again tack to a slightly different topic, but connected in some respects. Having this sort of global mindset brings diversity of thought, of course, but diversity and inclusion is arguably the most important strategic issue that companies are facing at the moment. Could you perhaps talk about what Workday is doing to ensure underrepresented groups have a greater opportunity to accelerate their careers, within Workday, and perhaps more broadly speaking, what advice would you offer others who are looking to bring greater diversity into their organisation?
Yeah, it's a great question, Michael, and clearly it's a huge hot topic these days. But I think it's being it's been on the works for quite some time for many companies. I think it just has become a higher priority, and is one that many CEOs of companies, when either customers or prospects, when I interact with them, they're expecting, we Workday as a leader in the HR space, that I think we carry an increased responsibility on getting diversity and belonging right, not only within Workday, but also, helping our customers doing so, right? I think maybe the best advice, more than advice, is just share some of the things that we're doing, right? Because we've been, as a company, in this journey for quite some time. We started a few years ago with a program. One of the key programs we do have, that we call it Opportunity On-Ramps, right? And what is Opportunity On-Ramps about? It's we try to create IT job opportunities, including training and development, to some less privileged collectives. So think about those that didn't have an opportunity to go to college because they come from more difficult either family or social environments. Think about those that may have been in the military service and they came back, they retired, and they have a hard time to find a job. Think about more mature women that they took the tough decision to get out of the professional market to take care of the family for 10, 15 years, and they have a hard time to how they get back onto the active job market, right? So again, that program, we were trying to address some of these collective groups and then provide them opportunities either within Workday or within other technology companies. And we've been doing this with other partners in the industry. So this program has worked well for a few years, as I said, right? But clearly we need to do much more. And we've been thinking lately, what can we do? Again, from a software perspective, in terms of helping companies to address this issue much better, right? And while I cannot disclose much today here, Michael, I can tell you there will be soon great enhancements coming into the software for many of our customers that hopefully will help them out to address the issue, right? But we've been taking many other actions, right? And lately, for example, we as a company donated $10 million to support Black employees with Job Opportunities Program. We're working on some others. We created an internal task group with 15 very talented and diverse employees that are going to be working during 6 months and come back to us, to the executive committee group, with concrete proposals on what Workday needs to do as a company to improve diversity, right, beyond what we are today. We're obviously, as many other companies, trying to ensure how we reduce any bias around our recruitment processes, enabling especially our first line managers to start with, and taking actions to ensure that we have a good, solid funnel pipeline of candidates, and diverse ones from where we can start recruiting from, right? But then providing that enablement that hopefully will improve long-term, because this is going to be a long journey, right? And I think, when you think about providing those diverse opportunities, it needs to start from the bottom, because yes, hiring from each other diverse talent is not going to add to the equation. It's just going to be moving people around. So I think, of course, though, you'll see some of those dynamics, especially in the technology market and in some other markets. I think what we need to start is working bottoms up that funnel and providing opportunities there, investing, developing and training those skills. So, so that the environment is much richer, because the contribution of those diverse groups is just going to be much better for all of us as a company.
Yeah, thank you, Chano. That's really fascinating. That brings to a close part one, but please do join us in part two, where we'll be exploring strategic issues, including business priorities for the next 12 months and what we might expect from a post-pandemic future.